Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to my channel. Hope you are great. Disclaimer: this video reflects my personal opinions and commentary. It is not intended to harass, harm, or defame any individual. Content is for discussions and educational purposes. So, I came across video of Kash Patel saying that United States of America needs to prioritize Israel, and I am asking, prioritize Israel on what ground? Because at this point in time, I am really lost. I understand that United States of America and Israel are allies, but there is a limit to what some people can do, or there is a limit to what human beings should do or government. Because I don't understand how United States of America is using American US tax dollars to do so many things, go to war, give Israel money, give them money for this and that, and still United States of America do not have a universal basic health care, but the Israel that they give money on monthly and all that have universal basic health care. And I am asking, are we in United States of Israel or United States of America? Because at this point in time, I am a little bit lost. And Kash Patel, sincerely speaking, Kash Patel, you are supposed to be bringing out all the documents related to Epstein's file, and we haven't seen anything. And you have the audacity to mount the CNN or Fox News to come out to tell us that United States needs to prioritize Israel, and that is one of the reasons why you guys decided to go to war when you were not supposed to go to war. Let's get into this video.
Say what now?
We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel and bring home Israelis and make sure we stand by our #1 ally in Israel.
Did he say that Americans need to prioritize Israel? Is that what he said?
We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel and bring home Israelis and make sure we stand by our #1 ally in Israel.
Yep. That's what I thought he said. Americans need to prioritize Israel over their own well-being. And these are the people that y'all voted to put into office. America first, huh? Are we great again yet?
Here's why the term Israel's taking over the United States completely misses the mark. While I'm happy people are discussing Israel and AIPAC's influence on our government, what people need to understand is this is not an Israel-only problem. We need to stop acting like the United States is being dragged down by Israel instead of being a willing participant. We don't have an Israel first problem here. It's a ruling class problem. The United States willingly supplies Israel with their weapons and have the most military bases around the world. Israel is not infiltrating our government. The United States is a willing participant. The right and liberals keep trying to frame Israel as this is not us, this is not our values, and that's completely false. While Israel is evil, are we forgetting what the United States has done? Settler colonialism is one of the most evil extreme forms of colonialism, which means to not just take a country's resources, but completely decimate and replace the population. The United States did that to the natives of Turtle Island right here. We like to act like this was so long ago, but they are the original master plan behind all of this. The evil that you see the IDF putting on full display all over TikTok and Instagram, the United States did the same thing in Iraq and Afghanistan, but maybe social media wasn't as popular then. The raping of women and children, yes, the United States military did the same thing in Iraq and Afghanistan, including taking children as sex slaves. And the aid that's sent to Israel is returned back to the United States in forms of purchasing weapons, in forms of intelligence as they test more weapons and technology on Gaza and in the West Bank. And the ruling class purchases these stocks and makes millions off of genocide. The United States is not being dragged into this. Think of Israel as a proxy of the United States. They are a mini United States in that region that does the bidding of the United States willingly, hand in hand. We don't have an America first, Israel first problem. This is a problem of the ruling class that continue to profit from genocides all over the world. Recognizing Israel is the #1 step, but only the first step. Here's why.
Okay, can somebody explain this to me just in general? There's something that I'm missing here. Like, I don't understand why we are overly obsessed with Israel, that everything revolves around Israel. Like, I don't get it. What exactly is going on? What am I missing? I mean, I know what the conspiracy theorists say, and I know what people are mad about and the giving of the money, but what is it rooted in? Like, there's millions of countries in the world. Why are we so invested in these people? And this isn't about because they're Jewish. I'm not even asking any of that. I don't care about that. I'm asking a genuine question about what is the holdup and why is everybody so obsessed with Israel? What am I missing? What am I not understanding? Break it down for me, because it's going over my head. Like, either that or I'm understanding it and it's just that ridiculous. So I'm asking you guys from every angle, why are we so obsessed with Israel? I do not get it. I do not understand it. And I need somebody to explain it to me in layman's terms. Okay.
There seems to be this delusion that the United States has no idea what it's doing and that we're completely controlled by Israel. And I just find it so hilarious every single time that you guys let this country off the hook. Because that's what it is. It's letting this country off the hook. And y'all do it in a micro sense when it comes to our political system. Y'all want to believe so badly that it's just the actors within the system that's the problem, not the system itself. So in a macro sense, y'all do the same thing. Y'all look at Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel as the reason why the United States is where it is, whether it be domestically or what we do to foreign countries. I'm telling you right now, the relationship between Israel and the United States is mutually beneficial. Yes, it's not beneficial to you as the citizen because it's not and never was intended to be. But it is very beneficial to the United States' imperialist agenda to have an outpost in West Asia, because the plan is to exterminate all sovereignty of brown people in the region. That's pretty much the end game for all brown and black people in the entirety of West Asia and the African continent. It's either enslavement or just complete extinction.
Well, I just finished listening to Kash Patel lecture me about how if we want to shut off the pipeline to Iran, we need to go ahead and wake up and prioritize the nation of Israel. Look how far these guys have came. You know, during this last president's race, it was not much of a race because there's only one person that was qualified to be president. All right? And, you know, and Trump and Kash Patel, they went and they did the long form podcast, which I like. I think from now on, anybody that runs for public office needs to sit down for a 3-hour conversation on a podcast or something of the sort. And these guys did those rounds. And now to watch them totally flip and now lecture us on what the American people need to be doing with the American people's money. You know, it's just, it just shows you that we are not a sovereign country.
America to wake up and prioritize Israel, and bring home Israelis, and make sure we stand by our...
Okay, I'm just going to say what everybody's thinking, okay? Kash Patel looks like he is desperately holding in a fart. Or a shart. He looks like he is fucking terrified that he's not going to make it to the bathroom. Okay? No judgment. We've all been there. He looks like he just slammed like a bunch of fucking Taco Bell with all the sauces. And he's like, oh, that was a bad idea. And they're like, oh, you got to go on TV. And he's just like, like, he's terrified. He's going to shit his pants. I've seen people shit their pants. That, right there, that guy is someone who's about to shit their pants. Okay? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Kash, it's okay. If you lose control of your bowels and you shit your pants on TV, we're never going to forget, but, you know, we're going to understand, and shit happens. Yeah, just let it go. You gotta shit your pants. I mean, you know, shit happens. Shit happens, buddy. I gotta go. Bye.
We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel.
Actually, America should be putting America before any other foreign entity. And if Kash Patel thinks that we should be putting Israel first, then he can take his Israeli Mossad girlfriend and move there. Because I don't want him in our government anymore. I don't want a lot of people in our government anymore because they are bought by Israel. And it's ridiculous. We should always put America first.
So the US FBI director just came out saying that all American citizens need to start prioritizing Israel. We support our own country first. I'm not against Israel, but Americans need to prioritize America. Duh. Oh, and by the way, Israel has free healthcare. I think that's the craziest part about this. Guys, it actually gets worse because the fact that Kash Patel comes out on Fox News and says something like this during this time with all of the new stuff that came out is genuinely crazy, and people are speculating that he is owned or something. I don't know. That's just a question. But it is a little odd that at this point, everything is escalating with Israel in the US. Like, everybody's, like, I don't know, like, it feels kind of like a weird relationship. Especially with the politicians saying, like, number one ally, number one ally, number one ally. And then he comes out and says this. Like, it almost feels like he's rage baiting. Do y'all not agree? Let me know in the comments. I don't know why in the absolute F would he say something like this during this time particularly. Makes no sense.
The United States government has so much more dedication that it gives to Israel than it would give to any of its citizens. The amount of back-breaking support that the United States will give to a foreign entity over its own citizens is astounding. The amount of military aid that we give them, the free healthcare that we give them, the lengths that our military is ordered to go to protect their interests. The lives of our soldiers is not given to the flag that they wear on their shoulders, but rather to a foreign power that cluster munitions children. And speaking of our veterans, this week, junior senator from Montana, Tim Sheehy, broke a man's hand at a public hearing because he said, "This isn't our war to fight, it's Israel's." Yeah, Tim Sheehy, that fucking loser from Montana. I'm from Montana. I need to make an own separate video just dedicated to this. He is so dedicated to selling out our 1.1 million people of Montana to Israel that he went and laid his hands on another American. Additionally, after the United States is done with Iran, or when it gets to a point where Israel is satisfied, Israel has recommended to the US government to look at threatening Turkey. Yes, our NATO ally. Now, if a conflict breaks out between those two, I hope to God, and I'm not religious, that Turkey dog walks Israel. But this is such odd levels of international manipulation as the United States is considering tossing away a military alliance that it's had since the 40s for another country's comfortability. I can go on and on about this subject, as all of these topics warrant their own separate videos. So if you share my animosity, then stick around, because this stuff needs to be talked about way more than the United States wants.
Israel controls the U.S. My guy, Israel is the U.S. The state of Israel is a tiny little America smack dead center in the Middle East. Before AIPAC and other Zionist organizations were founded in the 1950s and became part of what we now know as the pro-Israel lobby, America supported Israel almost immediately after it declared independence in 1948. This was also the beginning of the Cold War, and America understood that it would benefit from having an anti-Soviet ally in the region. Now, some of you may be thinking to ourselves, if Israel doesn't control the U.S., why do we give them so much money even if it doesn't benefit people like us? And the answer to that question is that even though it is not good for the average individual like you and I, it is good for individuals at the top because it serves their business interests. In other words, the $3.8 billion that we give to the Israelis annually is good for U.S. defense contractors and sustains U.S. defense jobs. And this is extremely important to understand because countries do not support other countries whether they're nice or not. Countries will support other countries out of self-interest, whether that's political, social, or economic self-interest. Don't just take my word for it. Take the word of then-Senator Joe Biden from 40 years ago in 1986 explaining just why America supports Israel.
I think it's about time we stop, those of us who support, as most of us do, Israel in this body, for apologizing for our support for Israel. There's no apology to be made. None. It is the best $3 billion investment we make. Were there not an Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest.
American soldiers are now dying for Israel. Just amazing stuff. It's been reported that 3 so far have lost their lives, 5 are seriously injured, so that number might rise. As the war continues, we probably expect to see more. It seems like the US might be running out of interceptor missiles, so there's only so much you can hold out for before it starts to get a bit too much. You know, the Middle East is on fire right now. The British government is talking about evacuating people. All this chaos because Israel wants it. Again, I marvel at their power. Like, getting foreign citizens of other countries killed just because your prime minister wants something, on one level, is quite impressive, but it also kind of helps you reflect, like, this is actually the country we have right now. You know, when we talk about our countries being democracies, you know, we're laughing at all these other countries. Oh, look at you, you're a dictatorship, you're blah, blah. How democratic are we if Israel just totally owns us? They want to get into a war with another country, we'll support them, we'll help them diplomatically, we'll get our planes in the air and start blowing down, you know, bombing other countries for them, maybe bombing them, shooting down missiles that are attacking Israel itself. Why are we doing this? Why? Since when does Israel get a vote on how we spend our money, what we do or choose not to do? Unfortunate thing for Israel is that, you know, the kind of level of global hatred they're stirring up with this kind of behavior, because there's going to be, you know, at least maybe 1, 2, 3% of people in America right now who hate Israel even more. Although, maybe I say that, I imagine the media is going to do a very good job of making it seem like these soldiers just died because Iran is so evil, not because we were attacking them first. Like, when I posted that video yesterday, and she was asking that foolish, the Iranian foreign minister, oh, what's the justification for striking US air bases? What? So we'll see. But I imagine that everyone truly knows now, people that are watching my videos, for example, if you're watching this video right now, where the anger, you know, where the blame really lies. What do you think this does for Israel's reputation all around the world? I guess they don't really care about that anymore. But unfortunately, for things like how people view Jewish people, who are clearly not guilty in any of this. But when you think of Israel, given that they try to brand themselves continuously as the nation state of Jewish people, and we're doing all these things because we're Jewish, and that's what gives us the divine right to attack anyone we want. Is this a good thing we have? Is it a good development in the world? I don't know.
On that thought, ever since I moved to America, I have come to learn that so many Americans have this fear that if America stops being a superpower, somehow their lives are gonna get worse. So let me say something to you, my dear Americans. When you decolonize your mind, you will be free. Unless you're part of the 1%, you benefit nothing from America being a colonizer and a superpower. People who live around the world in places where they are happy, they can pay their bills, they can keep their sanity, they can go on their simple vacations, they can eat healthy food. They do not live in a superpower country. They do not have the 1% living there either. The truth is, if America would be less of a superpower and not a colonizer, the average American would not be paying so much in taxes that they see no return on, because we have been funding brutal wars, senseless wars with our taxes since the 70s. 2024 is the year where the Forbes billionaire list was the longest, and this is when we have record numbers of homelessness and poverty in America, because there's only so much wealth to go around, and all the tax money that should go back to the people are going to bomb the Middle East and colonize other countries. Imagine if American politicians didn't have that agenda. All that tax money would go back to you. Imagine if a military that has a budget that could end poverty in your country was held accountable for all the money they misplace. In a nutshell, are you supporting an illegal occupation because you think you must in order to be a good American? You don't have to do that, because outside of America, everyone sees who are the free thinkers in America and who are the scared.
This war with Iran is not America's war. It is Israel's war that America is fighting on behalf of Israel using your tax dollars. You see, Iran is a threat to Israel's existence, and Israel will never stop until Iran is completely neutralized and they have full control over not just Iran, but of the entire region. Mainly because Iran is one of the largest sovereign nations in the region. They have no U.S. military bases, there is no U.S. embassy, and there is no U.S. puppet running the country like there is in the region. And most importantly, Iran supports and funds all of the groups that are fighting Western imperialism in the region. And it is very important to know that the Palestinian resistance would have never made it this far without the support of Iran. And you shouldn't take my word for it. You should listen to Palestinian martyrs like Nazar Banat, and you should watch this video on YouTube. Netanyahu knows that there is a small window to take out Iran right now, which is why they have tried to convince and pressure the US to join them in this attack. Mainly because in the last 2 to 3 years, Israel has killed the top leaders and officials and generals in the Palestinian and Lebanese resistance, and also some of the top leaders and generals in the Iranian military. Today, Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini was killed in an Israeli strike. So what does this mean? It means there is going to be an all-out regional war, which is why so many people have been ringing the alarm trying to prevent this very moment. But here we are. Iran is not going to go down without a fight, and neither are any of the groups they support and fund in the region that fights Western imperialism. Everyone is going to fight like their life depends on it, because this is the moment, okay? And so the US and Israel are not only going to attack Iran, but they're going to open up the prison gates to allow ISIS and Al-Qaeda fighters to take over the region and cause absolute havoc. And the US is going to use this to make the case as to why they not only need your tax dollars to fund this war, it's why they're going to need your children to fight this war. This regional war will take the lives of millions of people in the region, but it will also define the fate of the region for the next 50 to 100 years. And the US is securing Israel's position as the next new world leader. This is the transfer of power. This is the global new world order. And the craziest part is Americans are in denial about all of this, just as they are in denial about the Epstein files, but it is all connected. And right now it is happening. It is happening in real time, and you have to fight like hell.
I'll go from this video, and I'm going to tell us something, because I remember what happened I think 2 or 3 years ago, if I am not mistaken, that Israel also dragged America to war, like almost dragged them to war. But I think Joe Biden has his own stance and all that. But then I am going to ask, why is it that America prioritizes Israel more than any other person? Like one of the people that spoke, I am sure you all saw that video where I think Marine soldier, right? Marine officer, I don't know if, I can't remember if it is Marine or, but I know it's like that, that got his hand broken, sincerely speaking, and nobody is saying anything about it. And the fact that they intentionally, because somebody was resisting, and you ended up engaging the person. Like, I didn't know what would make somebody, maybe like on live television or something, to break a full-grown ass man's hand. I didn't know. You must really be very mean and wicked, because you know what it takes to like break a bone. You and I understand that. Like, you are not breaking a stick or something, somebody's hand. And with everything going on, because this war, the United States decided to go with Israel to Iran, because it's uncalled for. It's against human rights. It's against UN. Like, it's literally against everything. Tell me how you wake up and all you did was to, boom, followed Israel. And now I am going to ask, is it United States of Israel? Because at this point, I don't understand. America sends money to Israel soldier. America sends money to Israel to buy like Pe0ple and the rest of it. I don't know. The same Israel that they are sending money to, Israel has universal basic health care. And United States of America do not have universal basic health care. So who actually needs help? Because at this point in time, I don't get it. But then I understand the bilateral relationship or unilateral, whichever one they call it, and all that. But I am going to ask, is there something that we are not understand? I understand countries could be allies, right? But you know what is good and what is not bad. You know when to pause and when not to pause. If United States of America, if you guys had the best leader, I am sure that your leader would have paused at some point, knowing fully well that he was getting himself into a very difficult moment, because at this point in time, he is going around looking for people that will follow him to war. I learned that they are asking Ghana to join them to fight. What do Ghana have that Ghana will follow United States of America to go and fight? Fight who? And I wanted to know, before you say Ghana, how? Yes, United States of America is going around asking for help. How do Ghana come in when we as Africans have this Belinda treaty that we do not own any fire distance. We cannot go to war. In fact, we cannot even fight war because we do not produce ammunitions. And all the African countries, mostly our side, we cannot produce shit. It's that bad. Because the African leaders decided that they are going to sign the Belinda Treaty. We cannot manufacture shit. So if Iran decided that they are coming to Ghana, what will happen? Huh? I think their president said no. No, I can't fight. Because if anything happens, trust me, this is how Ghanaians will be swept away. The truth is, know when to say yes, know when to say no, know when to dodge everything that is going on, especially when it is not your business. Because at this point in time, whatever that is going on between Israel and Iran was not United States of America's business, and they decided to strike. From striking now, I am sure some of us, especially in United States of America, majority of people cannot buy gas now because it's effing expensive. Thanks to your president, because he made it possible. If he had leaned back when he was supposed to lean back, I am sure people won't be suffering at this point in time. And it's going to get worse because I don't know how. And the fact that he still did not know when to go back, like say, man, I am done. The Secretary of the War, Pe0ple, said that we did not start. Look at what he says. We did not start this fight, but we are going to finish it. It looks like I understand that everything that has been going on, the fight has actually been suppressed, because if you look around, you are not seeing the real story online because US heavily suppressed it. I want you to know that, you see, Israel is on the loss. They are losing big time. And I am sure they don't know how to dodge the whole thing anymore because they have started the fight and they are being proud that we are going to see how it is going to go. That was why, as at yesterday, Israel and the United States of America decided that they were going to also strike where Iran has their crude oil stored and all that. You guys are doing great. You guys better be ready, because at this point in time, but why you guys, sorry, I'm saying you guys, black people, you know you are exempted from this because you know that this is not, you guys never supported this. It is mostly MAGA. But if you are MAGA, they are absolutely coming for you. And I am going to give them address, how they can find you. So you better drop some address in the comment section so we get them. So if care is not taken, this is going to go far. It will go very, very far. But I hope it stops here because, man, I want soft life. I am tired of suffering. Because if you want to go out and you do not, there is no gas or something to go out, trust me, you ain't going nowhere. And if you have things you are supposed to do, you probably will have to postpone because there is no means to do some certain things. It's bad. But I think United States of America need to really sit back and think about themselves, because they've been going to war literally with everybody and still making plans on how they are going to go to other places. It's kind of sucks that everywhere they say war, you definitely will hear United States of America's name. It's crazy. I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.